I just picked up a brand new camping stove. This thing was expensive, $500 Canadian expensive. We're gonna unbox it. I'll give you some of my first initial impressions and then we'll give it a try. This is what I've been using, just your basic camping stove. This thing was creaking and rattling in the back of the Jeep. I want it to get a good stove that's gonna last me because I've been doing a lot of cooking when we've been out on our camping trips. I want it something compact. I want it something that isn't gonna squeak and make a whole bunch of noise in the back of the Jeep. Something that is good quality and is gonna work well. And so here it is. Let's get it out of the box. Here is the Genesis Basecamp system. So this is a dual burner system, but it also includes a frying pan, a 10-inch frying pan, and the Jetboil pot. This is not a sponsored video. This wasn't sent to me for free. I literally paid $500 for this box here. So yeah, hopefully it's worth it. Really nice looking carrying bag. It almost feels padded, so if you're putting this in your vehicle, it's not gonna bang right against it. It's not just a thin layer of vinyl, it's got a bit of padding to it. Quick little overview of the specs of this stove. We've got dual burner, just some marketing information, unbeatable simmer control. Drip trays on here to clean up. It's saying it weighs 9 pounds, 10,000 BTU hour burners, 3 minutes and 15 seconds per 1 liter of water to boil. We can boil 48 liters of water per 1 pound propane tank. That seems pretty good. We've got some dimensions, standard propane compatibility. Jetboil, in case you forgot who makes your stove. And we'll just flip the lid open. We got a box up here. Here's the frying pan. Put that off to the side. Got some plastic lid thing. And then we've got the stove in here. Unclip that and we can pull this. Wow, this is, holy smokes, this is compact. So you can purchase this on its own without the cookware and save a little bit of money. Some more cardboard. And then we have the pot in the bottom. Look like plastic coated handles. So even when they're down, hoping we're not gonna get rattling like that when we're driving. See, they put this paper on here for shipping. And as soon as you take that off, it rattles on the pot. In the bottom of the case, we have this plastic thing, which I believe this is their wind guard. Seems like it serves some sort of purpose. A little storage area up top. Can't miss that. So this is just gonna connect to our propane. These are the bottles that I plan to be using, just regular propane camp stove bottles, and they'll just thread onto this regulator like that. Let's have a look at the main attraction, which is the stove. And I'm guessing this is the burner control, which I've just opened probably all the way. There's one for each burner here on the sides. It has a couple rubber straps on the side of it to keep it closed, which is an interesting design. Not sure how durable these will be long term, but it looks like we just unhook them from these little knobs here. You guys can see that. Real quick and easy to undo. Let's do this back up and give it a shake test to see if it rattles. There's a little rattle in there. So once you undo those two straps, just like that, we've got our 2-burner stove. Nice and compact. We've got some product material here. Some instructions. We can rotate these straps out of the way if we want, so they're not flopping to the side. Real nice and easy to open, super compact. Let's see just how does this compare to a more traditional stove for size. Here is our Broadstone dual burner, sort of typical camping stove, and here is the Jetboil Genesis. So it is about the same height, and if we pop this open, undo our straps, kind of got a good look at the two. The burners are spaced out similar, so if you're gonna put a larger pot on, here's what the Jetboil pot looks like on here. And we've got our lid for our pot and pan, which has a nice little lever here to pick it up. Getting down below here, The water boiling pot fits on here and covers some of the burner and won't slide off. So I'm wondering if this will help heat up water and cook stuff faster. The pan just sits flat on here. This is a thin standard nonstick pan, but with flip out handles. So this lid as well that comes with it is a drainage lid. It has holes in the side of it. Fits on both the pot and the pan, but lots of room for both of these if you want. Going through the instructions, this plastic thing that came in the bag is actually supposed to be a windscreen. Who doesn't like a good plastic film removal? Windscreen is supposed to attach to the bottom. Seems like a bit of a process. So something like that, but right here we've got a little slot and another one on the other side. Some on the back there and there, which the little feet are supposed to slide into. I'm gonna say leave this in the bag unless it's insanely windy. And if it's insanely windy, try to find some better cover, because this seems like a real poor design. You know, the whole quality of this unit seems really good for the price. And then you just throw this kind of piece of flimsy plastic in here with your logo and some flimsy tabs. So I don't know, Jetboil. We'll just attach the fuel input. It's labeled here on this side. Now the thing with this stove is it also has a connection on the other side called the JetLink output, which I believe you can get a hose and you can attach this to a Jetboil. Looks like you can share one fuel container with multiple burners. You can get this in a single burner system if you want something that's really, really compact, but honestly, the size of this on its own, other than it weighs 10 pounds, is pretty nice. And there's a real industrial Arctic camping looking that you take on some expedition. Nice and easy to hook up. Pretty straightforward if you've ever operated a camping stove. Let's just make sure it works. Gotta make sure those rubber straps are out of the way. It's sitting flat. You don't want them underneath the feet. Here on the side, we've got an ignition system for each burner, which sends a spark to the burner where the gas is coming out. And we've got a second one. We've got one for each burner, one on each side. So it says open the gas all the way. There we go. We crank this right up if we want. Won't get this too hot because we want to take this outside. This knob has a lot of adjustment for temperature, so a lot of stoves seem to just go from 0 to inferno really quick. So we can turn this several times to get it open and then spark it up. And we can turn this really high if we want, or incrementally move it down to a really low flame. So let's test this out. Let's see how long it's going to take to boil water. Let's see how long it's going to run on a standard 1 pound propane tank. We'll put a brand new tank on there, turn on both of those burners. Let's see just how long this is going to run for. Today it's about 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, so it's quite chilly, but you know, that's how it is camping half the year up here. So we have the blue stove set up here. We've got the Jetboil pot. Let's put 2 kilograms of water in here, which would be 2 liters. And let's see how long that's going to take to boil. Fire up this burner. Now with this stove, we got to use a lighter to start it, and we'll crank it up all the way. We'll get our timer out so we can see how long this is going to take. And let's put our pot on. We'll put a lid on because that would be the right thing to do. We're just passing the 4-minute mark. It is getting really hot. I don't think I would touch the water. I think it's going to start boiling here any minute now. Just hit the 6-minute mark and we've just begun having a rolling boil of the water. You guys can see in there, that's, well, probably steaming up the lens like crazy, but. So I've got my standard kitchen pot on here with 2 liters of water, 2 kilograms of water as well. It's 9 minutes and 45 seconds almost. We're approaching 10 minutes as that really starts to boil. So quite a significant reduction in time just by having the Jetboil pot, even on a standard stove. So if you're wondering whether or not you should get the entire Genesis system with the stove, pot and pan, well, that pot is definitely going to work better even on any regular stove. Real easy to start. We don't need a lighter, so let's crank this up. Hit the igniter, easy start. Let's turn this up as high as it goes. That's all the way. Get our timer started. Start. And I guess we should put the lid on. So it began boiling, well, I stopped it at 6 minutes, 30 seconds, but it was almost exactly the same amount of time. Definitely too close to call between the two stoves and just how quickly they boiled water, but it was the Jetboil pot definitely makes a difference boiling water, and it doesn't matter what stove it's on. Now, as far as pans go, I don't know, this just looks like a regular non-stick camping pan, so I'm not really sure there's much value in this thin pan coated with non-stick, and if this wears out, well, I think I'll probably just replace it with one of the other pans I've seen on Amazon that look very similar to this. But the Jetboil pot has a unique design underneath, which is what I think is allowing it to perform a whole lot better. But underneath this pot, it's actually more than just one layer. It's got this, ooh, hot. Inside the vents, I'll try to get the focus, but there's all these louvers in here, like folded metal, which I think is helping transfer the heat from the stove better, as well as it sits over top of the flame. I'm definitely not an engineer, but there's got to be something going on with this fin system underneath this fairly standard camping pot, which is allowing it to boil water significantly faster than a regular pot. So that's pretty cool. I want to see how long one of these will run that stove. I'm going to go get some brand new tanks real quick, and then we're going to put it on the stove. We'll turn both burners on high and see how long one of these canisters lasts. This was a brand new one to start the Jetboil Genesis test, and I used another brand new one on the generic camping stove just so that we were using fresh tanks. But we'll start with brand new ones. We'll turn both burners on, and we'll see how much runtime we can have with the stove on full. I was just shaking up the bottle a little bit. It seems to be getting icy. If it slows down again, I think what I'll do is pause the timer, let the bottle thaw out a little bit, and then start it back up and see how it goes, because I don't want the bottle icing up to affect the total runtime of the burners. I feel there's still quite a bit of gas in here still, and you can hear it pick up a little bit when I shake it, so I might let this thaw out and then keep going. I've been trying to de-thaw or unthaw this bottle for a little while. It's starting to get dark and I need to finish this video. So where did we get to with runtime? Well, when I stopped it, it was at about 26 minutes before the bottle froze. It's really cold out here today, which I don't think is helping us with how long we can go until this bottle freezes. But I think that is actually something useful to know, is that you might want to have more than one bottle if you're camping and cooking for a longer than 20 minutes or so in colder weather. I'm not sure if you could go longer than the 20 minutes without this freezing, or 26 minutes without this freezing, but having multiple bottles that you can swap out that aren't frozen while the other ones thaw would be a good idea. So I thought we'd see just how much propane we used in 26 minutes with both burners on. So I've got my scale, and a brand new 1 pound bottle weighs 1.817 pounds, which is also 824 grams. If we put our used bottle on here, it's at 1.398 pounds. About 0.4 pounds, 634 grams, so just under 200 grams of propane. Got a little over half of a canister left at 25, 26 minutes with both burners on. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about is just cleaning up this, because it's supposed to be a fairly easy system to clean up. Looks like we just unhook the grills like that. We can take the grill piece off. We can get in here and clean this out. But everything is raised up around the edges and underneath the burner. So if you do spill something in here, as long as it isn't a high quantity of stuff, it's just gonna sit in this metal tray and you can clean it out. So what are my final thoughts, and should you buy this Jetboil Genesis stove? I think that it is a pretty pricey stove. I think the build quality of the stove itself seems quite good. I am not sure though about the longevity of these rubber straps that hold it together. They seem like they could tear easily or get hooked on something and possibly tear. But everything else, the construction seems to be quite solid. It's easy to use, quick to deploy, and start cooking. I do like how the controls are very granular. It's 4 full turns from 0 to 100%, which gives you really nice simmer control if you're cooking on a pan. The pot that comes with it, I think, is pretty awesome. I think the real question is, do you just buy the Jetboil Genesis stove, or do you buy the entire kit with the bag, the pot, and the pan? And that's a tough one, because to me the pan looks like any other generic non-stick camping pan with fold-out handles. I don't know if it's adding much value. You do get the Jetboil pot, which, as we saw, gave us quite a significant improvement in boiling large quantities of water. I think that buying this on its own is a good purchase. I would probably skip out on the pot and the pan. If you really want the pot, you can purchase it separately. I will put some links down in the description to the stove, the pot, the pan, the entire kit. If you guys have some other suggestions for stoves, well, I'm probably not gonna be buying another one anytime soon, but I'll definitely check them out. Leave some comments down in the description below, or if you have this stove, what your experience has been with it. And as always, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Share it with your friends. I upload new videos every week, so hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.